Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guest and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm Michael Esposito, the host of the show and an insurance agent specializing in business and personal insurance. I'll introduce my guest in just a moment, but first, a quick update on Forgotten Children of Haiti's fundraiser, Masks for the Front Line. Thanks to our generous donors, we have raised $3,200 towards our goal of $5,000. But our fundraiser is ending this month, which could be essentially today. So please do visit our GoFundMe campaign and make a donation today of just $8 to buy one mask for one frontline worker in Haiti. The link's in my bio and the description of all of these videos. Today's show has been sponsored by AMH Home Services, who's donating $750 to FCH's fundraiser for anyone who chooses them for their mold and remediation services and mentions the show. My guests today are members of HV Gold Rewards and offer a discount to card-holding members. Visit HV Gold Reward to buy your $10 discount card, enter promo code FCH, and HV Gold Rewards will donate $8 towards our fundraiser for every card sold. Well, without further ado, I see my guest is here in our chat room here. We're going to bring in our guests. And I want to say hi to all of our friends out there. I see a bunch of different friends coming on here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Hanging in my guests just now, and they'll be coming in very shortly. Give them 2 seconds. I see it's connecting. And we're ready to go. It's just circling a little bit, but there they are. All right. Hi, how are you?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Hi.
Good. Hi. Yeah, I can see you clearly and I can hear you all right. So let me give you a proper introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guest and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm Michael Esposito, the host of the show and an insurance agent specializing in business and personal insurance. The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. Ferdinand Foch. Is your soul on fire? Let us know in the comments what that means to you. My guests today ignite the fire within by teaching karate and diving deep into your heart and soul to uncover your inner warrior. They're Veronica and Serina Teuschler of T&T Karate, and they'll share why karate is more than just a bunch of high kicks. Welcome, Veronica. Welcome, Serina.
We're super excited to be here. Thanks, Michael, for this great opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You're very welcome. I know you're excited to be here. I know that you have so much to share. When I asked you for your bios and for some information about you, you both sent over these detailed bios that were so organized and well detailed. And I read through both of them, and I was just amazed by all of the work that the two of you do, all the good that the two of you do. And we're going to get a lot, we're going to get into all of that. But some of the other things that I want to highlight are the amount of championships that the two of you have won. You have kicked some real butt, and you're both fourth degree black belts. You're very well decorated as black belts and masters at your karate studio there. Is it a dojo? I don't know. You'll have to correct me on that. But I wanna send it. Go ahead. You looks like Serina. You're gonna correct me.
Yeah, dojo is Japanese, and this is a Korean martial art, so it's pronounced dojang.
Dojang. So you're karate dojang. So could you share with us why you're so passionate about karate and what inspired you to open T&T Karate?
Do you want to go first? Or
No. Yeah.
So I started martial arts when I was, I think, 5 or 6 years old. It was 2001. And it was just like to try it out because a couple of my friends were doing it. And I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it. And then I was homeschooled for a couple years, and that became like my gym class. And I kind of just never stopped. And when I started teaching, that's really when I feel like I kind of understood what martial arts was and really appreciated everything that it could do for somebody. Because even when I was teaching as young as, like, I think maybe 12, and to be like a preteen or a teenager and to have those connections with younger kids and even with adults, and to be able to help them learn something and better themselves really impacted me a lot. And I think that's why I've stuck with it so long. In addition to, I love doing it, but I also really love teaching it and helping people with it.
Yeah, and I see your passion because you do so much more, and some of the things that you're already offering are some Zoom classes, and we're gonna jump into that. But I would also like to hear from Veronica your passion and why you jumped into karate.
It's something that my husband and I, you know how you can be married for 30 years and still learn something new about your partner. When Serena made the decision she wanted to do karate full time, we were just sitting in the chairs and watching her and saying, oh, she can kick higher, she can do this, because we're so judgmental. We think it's so easy, right?
Right.
But they asked us to come on the floor and try it. And we like signed a contract that day. We were absolutely hooked because it was something that he always wanted to do when he was young. And I always wanted to do it when I was young. And now here we are, grown people with this amazing child. And instead of living vicariously through her, we were like, we're going to do this. So we were a little bit older when we started, but we never regretted it. And then we got to do it as a family, and that was so much fun.
Yeah,
We
and you
stopped judging her. We absolutely stopped judging any because it's a lot harder than it looks from the chairs.
and so you spoke, Serena. You mentioned about some of the changes that you felt from karate. What were some of the changes that you started noticing about yourself when you started doing karate and really digging into this passion of yours?
I don't think I realized all of the benefits and all the things, how it impacted me until I was much older. And looking back now, I realized that I had a lot of good self-discipline when it came to my academics. I would come home from school and the first thing I did was just do all of my homework immediately. And that I feel like, at least nowadays, that's kind of hard to do because,
Right.
social media, video games and whatever. But it was like a priority for me that, I have this thing I have to do, I'm going to get it done, and I'm just going to do it all immediately and not mess around. And so I feel like the self-discipline and the work ethic that I learned from martial arts really helped me a lot. And I think also the leadership skills are really important, because whether you're working at Starbucks or you're working at, a big company like Central Hudson or wherever you're working, you need leadership skills and you need to be able to manage yourself and manage other people. And that is probably one of the biggest things that has helped me is the self-discipline and the ability to lead others.
Michael, if I could add one thing to that.
Please.
There's a young man who helped us since we opened, and he got a scholarship to Marist. And it was very sad to see him go because he wasn't going to be able to train anymore. But before he left to go off to college, he told us that thank you for teaching me everything that you taught me, because I'm the man that I am and I'm the leader that I am because he taught here in the school with Serena. And so I didn't realize that we had made such an impact on him. But she's right, the leadership skills, it's more important than people realize when you're responsible for, teaching someone something as simple as a form. But yeah, I was glad that he took that time to share that with us.
Yeah, and it's really nice to hear that from your students, I'm sure, especially when you see them moving on into bigger and better things and greater things. And then, of course, I'm sure he still practices and comes back and visits. So that is wonderful that he shared that with you. I really love that you shared the leadership quality to it, because I think I took Taekwondo. That's what it was. I took Taekwondo as a kid. And I do remember this, speaking about discipline and speaking about the leadership. And the both of you show your leadership in all of the community service that you do. But I want to get into a little bit about your championship fighting a little bit before we get into that. This is the Shining Light video podcast show where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm here with Veronica and Serina Teuschler, owners of T&T Karate, and they dig into not just karate, but also breaking boundaries down. And I want to just go into a little bit about their martial arts background, because they are such decorated karate athletes, I want to call them. But you have won so many championships. And before we move into your classes and everything that you do at your dojang, I would like to just talk a little bit about your championships and what that experience brought to you and what it was like to win and be a part of those tournaments that you've you've had so many and shared in so many.
Well, I just want to preface this with like, we've been training for so long, so it seems like a lot, but it's really only like 1 or 2 a year. Um, we compete with our federation, this flag back here, the Pan Am Tang Soo Do Federation. We do a lot of competition in their organization, and then we are also more recently part of an organization based in Albany called 518 Martial Arts. And he has a circuit up in Albany, and I think there's like 6 tournaments maybe every year. Probably not this year, we'll see. But I am not hugely, I don't know how to put this. Like, I understand that tournaments and competing is important, but we don't like to put such a huge emphasis on it because we worry more about, you know, are you growing as a person? And for some kids, it can be very hard for them to lose, right? So, and that's, I feel like, one of the hardest things for us to teach as instructors is to lose gracefully. I struggle with that every time. You know, these kids work so hard in class and they're training nonstop, and then they go to a tournament and the other person just trained a little bit longer or a little bit harder, and they lose because of that. And it's so difficult for us to teach to lose gracefully and to be a good sport. That's probably my biggest struggle as an instructor, is to handle that, you know, kids like Anthony and Isabel. But as far as
they work really, really hard, and it breaks your heart because I'm crying with them that they didn't win. But, you know, I also see that they learn so much more when they lose. I've learned so much more. I was at a competition at our federation, our Grandmasters tournament.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I wasn't going to tell that story. I stepped on a judge's foot, but it was a mistake. But I had to compete against my daughter and one of our younger teenage students, and it was a huge division, and I took 3rd place. But I was so proud of that little tiny trophy because, you know, I beat all these other people, you know, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got 3rd place and Serina got 1st." I'm like, I'm immensely, you know, blown away and proud that the 3 students on the podium were from our school, you know, and there were all these other amazing martial artists. So, you know, if you don't like losing, you know, then when you go back to the karate school, you have to train harder. And that teaches you, you know, that indomitable spirit that we talk about. You know, we throw that word around, but it really means that you have to train longer and harder and give more of yourself. And we love taking the kids to competitions. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and I bring up the competitions, and I bring that up, and I'm so happy that you spoke about losing gracefully, because when we spoke, Veronica, you did mention to me about what makes you different as a karate dojang, is that you're woman-owned, and you focus on more than the karate. And Serina, I think you mentioned that as well in terms of the tournaments that you're a part of, and when you were mentioning about losing gracefully, is that you really focus on the inner person. And I would like to, you know, I wanted to share with everybody that they focus on the inner warrior, the inner person, but they do compete. And as you just mentioned, you do win when you compete. But the thing that you told me that you really focus on is breaking down boundaries and getting into the inner person and focusing on that and resolving those inner battles that we all have, focusing on that before even throwing up a kick. And could you share with us how you go about doing that, how you go about breaking down those boundaries to be able to bring that out in a person that walks into your dojang?
Well, we call it mastery from the inside out. So we've been focused on changing their inner dialogue. And Serina created a program, and I'll let her speak to that. It's called Hit Like a Girl. One of the other things that we instituted was a program called Powerful Words Character Development. And there's these amazing chats that we give to the kids at the end of each class. But it's not just that. There's emails that we send to their parents. There's worksheets, activities. There's so many things that's involved in this program. So Dr. Robin Silverman is the creator of this program, and she's a child psychologist. So she has a blog and just so many tools for us to, when a parent has a problem. And it's really amazing how many parents will come into the office and talk to Serina or myself and share with us something that they're struggling with. And I am beyond blessed that they trust us enough, because I don't have all the answers. Serina doesn't have all the answers, but we can guide them to where maybe they could get a little help with a book or a therapist or something. And it's the program that Serina created, Hit Like a Girl. That's something that I would really love to just take everywhere, and invite anyone who needs to work on that inner dialogue and, you know, set those boundaries, because Serina has spent a lot of time on it, and it's a brilliant program. So I think you should like start writing a book on it. I do. I think she should.
As far as like the martial arts side of it, not about Hit Like a Girl, but just the regular Tang Soo Do program, I feel like it's almost inevitable that you're going to experience a change inside of you with the hard work that we put into our training and with the positivity that we spread throughout the class and throughout the school. We call ourselves a T&T family, and we encourage our instructors, our other students, everybody to be uplifting and helpful to one another and to stick up for one another. And so I think when you're training and you're sweating and sometimes you're bleeding with people and you're growing physically and you're gaining strength and you're gaining skill, you're also going to experience a positive change inside. And we have, right. We have a lot of amazing families in the school. We have a lot of great adult students who are part of the school, who are excellent role models for the kids. And I think that it's, like I said, it's inevitable. It's going to happen with the environment.
Right.
And I right environment.
Right. And I love that you bring up the positive, because we're going to get into the positive outcome from all of this. But a couple classes that I'd love to highlight for you is, of course, the Hit Like a Girl. You have the women's only self-defense, and then you're doing the virtual classes for the kids. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, because there's something that, Veronica, you mentioned to me about these virtual classes and the kids and how you're trying to like really bring them in. But I would love to hear about your positive take on this quarantine that we're in. So that's just in a moment. This is the Shining Light. This is the Shining Light video podcast show where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm here with Veronica and Serina Teuschler, owner of T&T Karate, and they're sharing about what you learn in karate is more than just self-defense, but leadership, inner growth, and a positive sense of an atmosphere, a world of thinking of positivity. And I would love to just ask the two of you, what do you see as a positive outcome from the quarantine that we're all experiencing today?
So I have a good answer for this. I kind of realized it when this first started, but it didn't really hit me until I was on Instagram and I found this this account of a young lady who is physically disabled. She's in a wheelchair. She has like an oxygen tank. She can't really go many places. And she shared a story about how she got to attend like all of these really awesome like nutritional seminars and health seminars that were online that normally she would never be able to go to because she physically can't go to them.
Wow.
So the opportunity that we have now that normally businesses and people would not kind of bother with, for lack of a better word, doing things online and opening it up to a larger community online, we now have to do that. And I think we're going to learn from it as a society and as a business and be able to be more accommodating to people with disabilities or for whatever reason they can't make the event. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to, at least for us, to reach more people. And then also for things like that, that young lady got to attend a seminar that she wouldn't normally be able to watch. And I think the opportunities for that are just, there's so many. It's good.
Right.
I think the biggest positive is that we're going to be able to be a lot more connected as a global community even.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love that. Veronica?
I know that, you know, families are together now that they, more than they have been, because dad's home working, mom's home working. But the one thing that is concerning me is that there's a lot of stress in everybody's life. And for the first 4 weeks, everybody was kind of freaked out over what do we do? And now that we realize like this is gonna be, I hate to say this, the new normal for a little while longer, I'm seeing my friends are taking their kids to the park. They're going down to the river. They're going for hikes as a family where they didn't do that before, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they're making time to get their kids out of the house instead of just sitting them in front of the iPad or the TV.
Right.
And that's gonna, I hope that continues. You know, I really want to see more of that, because the family unit, you know, it starts with the husband and the wife, and then the children come along. But we get so busy that sometimes we forget that, you know, and we get busy in our own little worlds, even though they're important. I mean, you know, the dad's job is important, but you have to make time to be a family unit.
Right.
So I'm encouraged, and I hope that's gonna, you know, not stop after all of this. So.
Right. Yeah. You both shared some really great things. I really love the story of this young lady who is able to experience all these virtual events. And these virtual events are happening all around us. And you're right, we are able to really sit down and just take a deep breath and watch something that we weren't able to attend because it was in Colorado, or as you said, somebody might be disabled and couldn't attend it. Now, that leads us right into something that you're doing, which are the virtual classes. And the virtual classes that you offer are really great. I remember speaking with Veronica about these classes, and they're like out of the box, getting these kids super energized and getting them all over the place. Could you share with us these virtual Zoom classes that you're doing today to be able to incorporate into your classes?
So my mom does private lessons. You usually have, I think, like 4 a day, pretty much.
Well, yeah, it's
sometimes more.
Yeah.
So she does the private lessons, and that's focused more on like the individual student and being able to do the things that they need to do for their own personal training. And then I teach the evening classes, and that's where everybody within a belt group comes together in the Zoom meeting, and I teach them just like I normally would here in the school. I've had to adapt a little bit because we used to do a lot of things with like hitting targets and you know, hitting heavy bags, and now the obstacle courses
Right.
The kids don't have that. So I've had to really think out of the box and find ways to make the training fun for them at home when they can't use all the equipment that they're used to here in the dojo.
Right.
And I actually am enjoying this a little bit. I still miss them very much, and I can't wait for them to be able to come back.
No, I'm loving the Zoom. It's so much fun. And they're so happy
Right.
when their little faces come on the screen, even when, you know, my private lessons, and then maybe mom gets to go have a cup of coffee for 30 minutes, you know, and just chill. But they're so happy to see me because it's their karate teacher. Yes, they love us, but they're getting to do something, not schoolwork.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, it's breaking up the day for them, and they really love it. They're so excited. Yes.
I could feel your passion for it, because I know when I was speaking with you about it, I was telling you I do a little gym class for my daughter and her friends, and it's really hard to engage them. So I know that if you're getting that reaction from them, then you guys are doing a fantastic job through Zoom.
We did talk. We did talk about that. I wanted him to jump in on one of the Zoom classes so he could get some ideas for the.
And are these classes open to only students, or is it open to almost anybody?
So we do we are opening it to new students. So if you're just starting, you've never done martial arts at all before, we have a class for beginner martial arts, or rather introductory martial arts. And yeah, that's on, I believe, Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Like 5.
Cool. You can post that link and everything, and we'll put it there for anybody who's interested in that. I want to get into your community service, because that's a whole show in itself, your community service. It's just outstanding. This is the Shining Light video podcast show where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm here with Veronica and Serina Teuschler, owners of T&T Karate, and they teach more than just self-defense. As I've said before, they really dig into the person and help you grow as an individual and learn self-defense in the meantime. Part of what they do is they work in their community, and they do so much. And some of the organizations that they've worked with are Sparrow's Nest, St. Jude's, Grace Smith House, the Purple Thread, and so many more. But one that stood out to me that I have to speak about as being half Haitian, and of course having our fundraiser going on, ending essentially today for Forgotten Children of Haiti, is, Veronica, your mission to Haiti in 2010. Could you share, of course, I would love for you to elaborate on all of the non-for-profit work you do and all of the acts of kindness and generosity in your community, but I really would love to hear a little bit about your experience when you went to Haiti and the work that you did there.
That was with the Harvard Initiative, and I became an EMT so I could go and do mission work with my church. And I went with a friend of mine and a group of Harvard doctors. But I was just an EMT, and it was after the earthquake, and they were really short-handed. So they basically gave me a little suitcase. I think it had like Dora on it or something. It was a little pink suitcase, like a little girl's suitcase. And they filled it full of all kinds of stuff. Gauze and cleaning stuff, and they zipped it up and said, okay, here you go. And I'm like, well, who's going with me? No, this is your lane right here. And it was like a MASH tent. The whole field was just filled with tents, and I had one row, and I had to go clean wounds, and I had never ever done anything like that before. So it was heartbreaking. It was life-changing for me as a person, as a mom. And if you've never done a missions trip before to a third world country, I would suggest it. Even if you only go for a week, because it makes you appreciate your life. It makes you appreciate your family and our country and everything that we have here. So the 2 weeks were short, but I met amazing people. I made some really good friends there that I still keep in contact with. And so I thought, because of the initiative that you're doing right now, you know, the fundraising that you're doing, I wanted to let you know that I went there after the earthquake, and I can't express the heartache that we saw, you know, the damage that was done, all these people trying so hard to just make like sense in their mind why this happened to them. Because when tragedy hits, that's one of the questions that people ask themselves, like, why did this happen? Why did I lose my leg? Why did my child die? Why did, you know, our whole civilization, as far as they could see in their neighborhoods, it was gone, and now they have to rebuild. They're an amazing, beautiful, strong people. So I would love to go back. I haven't been able to. I would like to see some of the people that I helped, to see where they are now and how much their life is better. Hopefully it's better. But our church also supports a Haitian fund that's called, oh, my mind just went blank.
That's okay. You'll be able to
yeah,
share it with us.
Yeah. But so I would like to donate to your fund.
Oh, thank you.
The stimulus check that we got from the government, I'm going to give that to you for your charity.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Well, $1,200. So
Wow.
you let me know at the end of, where I need to send the check.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're gonna
You're
have to do
welcome.
another show. Well, I think that gets us because we're at $3,200. So I think that gets us well over the hump. Thank you so much. I'm actually blown away. This is quite a little surprise here. You've shared with us here. I was just gonna thank you for all the work that you did in Haiti, but thank you again for that generous donation and for sharing that with us here on the show. What a wonderful moment to share with you. Thank you so much. Hard for me to move on, but I do have to move on so that we can keep this show going. Again, thank you so much. My mom is here in the comments. So many people in the comments letting you know that they're so appreciative. I have somebody, I can't see who it was, that said, I'm literally crying, so awesome. And then my mother, who's Haitian, says, thank you for your generosity and a lot of hearts. So thank you so much for that. And we'll talk offline about all of that. Thank you again.
Okay.
I would like to get into some more acts of kindness, and Michael's face was priceless. Yes, I was not expecting that. But if there's any more acts of kindness and generosity that you're witnessing outside of what's happening right now, could you just share a little bit more about that with us today? Serina or...
Yeah, so we have a student. It's a mom, two students, a mom and a son. And the mom works at Westchester Medical, and she works in one of the COVID floors. So she's exposed to coronavirus and she's feeling the stress of this. And her son decided to help sew masks. And I don't think he's very crafty or nifty or anything like that. But he saw a need for the masks, and he saw a need that his mom was experiencing in Westchester Medical. And so he spent a good amount of time, I think, sewing masks, and he gave some to us. And yeah, I wear it. It's like a little rainbow, and I wear that one. And honestly, like, no shade to this child, but he was the last person I expected to do it. Last person. But he did. And he, went out of his way to do this. And I think that's just amazing that he did that. And just because it's the right thing to do. And so I was really proud of him for doing that.
What you just said there is exactly what I love about this question, is that it really brings out all of like these people that you would never expect certain things from, and that you don't know who's doing what, and all of a sudden mask makers are coming out of the woodwork and people just making phone calls. I've shared this a couple of times on this show. I have a cousin who's more of like an introvert, doesn't really communicate much in terms of like calling or texting or anything. And all of a sudden I got a call from him and we FaceTime together, and he's like, Michael, I just miss human contact. I wanted to see somebody. So, and he was telling me he called my parents and called everybody. And I'm like, is there something wrong? He goes, no, I just needed to like speak to people. And like with what you're saying, the things are happening that we would never expect from others, and it's really wild. I want to thank you so much for sharing the acts of kindness and generosity that are happening in your community, and of course, what a generous donation that you're making to Forgotten Children of Haiti, and we'll take care of all of that offline, but I want to thank you so much for that. This is the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm here with Veronica and Serina Teuschler, owners of T&T Karate, and they are obviously very passionate about karate and about growing as inner people. And they do that by providing so much for their community. As I mentioned, their list goes on of all the community activities and all of the non-for-profits that they're a part of. And I want to thank them again so much for donating to Forgotten Children of Haiti. You are so active in the community and you're a part of so many different organizations and everything. I want to ask you, what made you decide to join HV Gold Rewards and become members? That's one question. And the second part to it is, of course, what kind of discount you offer to card holders?
Ramon contacted me about the group, and his passion for small businesses is just, outstanding. I love how he connected personally with us. It wasn't just like, hey, do you want to do this? And then we never heard from him again. He's always on the page. He's always encouraging us to get to know one another. He does a lot of small business networking things that we've been able to go to and meet other people. And he spent time with us. He came to the karate school. He did a little, like a 5-minute interview thing with us, which was super fun to meet him in person.
His kid broke a board.
His kid broke a board. He brought his son with him, so his son got to break a board. That was like the highlight of the whole thing for me.
Sure.
But the discount that we offer is it's 50% off their first month of training.
Wow.
So there aren't a lot of people that have taken advantage of that. So I think that's me not promoting it correctly. So Ramon has been very patient with me because I'm not really good with this whole, I know she's laughing because I had trouble with the Instagram today.
First of all, we all have problems with the Instagram, so don't worry.
But he's been very, very helpful. And I ask him some of the same questions 2 or 3 times before I figure it out. But he's just been wonderful with, helping me learn how to promote it and to get the word out. Because I think it's a great program. I mean, why wouldn't you want to get a discount? And there's so many businesses, there's 8,000 members in this group. So there's lots of options there. You can get your roof done, your driveway done, your air conditioning fixed. The ugly mug is there, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I know. So it's a great group.
And of course, I see here, right in the comments here, of course, AMH Home Services, who's also there. And if you buy a HV Gold discount card, which is only $10, they're going to donate. Excuse me, not if they buy, but HV Gold Rewards will donate $8 towards Forgotten Turn of Hades fundraiser. And also, if you use AMH Home Services for your mold remediation, they're going to donate $750 towards our fundraiser. So we thank them for that as well. And Serina, and have you noticed also a great impact from HV Gold Rewards?
One of the biggest things that I notice is that Ramon is so active with sharing our social media.
Oh,
so
that's true.
Like notifications all the time. Ramon liked this. Ramon shared this. Ramon commented here.
He is so busy.
Yeah, I think that's great. And
Yeah.
I think it encourages our parents and our other network to engage with our social media as well. So that's the biggest thing I noticed him is that he's very active and he actually cares.
Yes,
Or we do sometimes.
Yeah, well, I love that you bring that up, and that's why I asked, is that it really is. It's really an online community, and he shares every single post. And we could see here in the feed, like ever since I became part of HV Gold Rewards family, I guess, I've noticed in my feed, it's always like HV Gold Rewards people in there. And it's not just because this is HV Gold Rewards week. It's just that he's so engaging. He posts everything. He lets me share everything over there. And it really is very, very helpful to be a part of. So visit hvgoldrewards.com and get your card and be a part of that network for the Hudson Valley. This is the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their community. I'm here with Veronica and Serina Teuschler, owners of T&T Karate. They're going to help you find your inner self, your inner warrior, and you're also going to learn how to kick some butt and some self-defense and all of that. You both have just been so wonderful on the show. I can't thank you enough for your generous donation. And again, you're part of the community and you do so much in your community. But I have to ask you both, and you might have the same answer, you might have separate answers. What's one place that you miss and cannot wait till this quarantine is over to bust down their doors and say, take care of me?
So I have like several places that I
That's
would like
fine.
to go. I really want to go sit in a coffee shop. That's like one thing where I didn't even realize that I missed, that I didn't even like realize that I missed doing that. I just want to go sit in a coffee shop in public and drink a cup of coffee on a couch. That's it. And then I want to get my hair cut. And I would love to get my nails done. And of course, like going to a restaurant would be cool, but mostly the coffee shop.
And do you have a favorite coffee shop?
There's a few different ones that I go to. I spend a lot of time in Red Hook, so Taste Buds up in Red Hook I like.
Yep.
Crafted Cup in Poughkeepsie, the Ugly Mug. I used to work at Starbucks across from Marist College, so I know some of the baristas there, so I hang out there sometimes too. But yeah, anywhere that serves coffee.
Very, very good. And Veronica?
We frequent cranberries in Hyde Park.
Oh, yeah,
And
them
yeah.
too. Yep.
Yeah. They freeze their coffee in little ice cubes. So when you order an iced coffee, you get ice cubes that are coffee. So yeah,
Yep.
there. And I really would like to go to Capola's in Hyde Park for the Sunday brunch.
Right.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I forgot about Sunday brunch.
Sunday. So if you've never been, I would highly recommend it.
One free mimosa.
You get
My wife said she saw a post that iced coffee was made by moms because they were just tired of reheating their coffee. So,
yeah, this is true. My sister Shirley, yeah.
well, thank you for sharing those amazing places. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. This has been the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. My guests today have been Veronica and Serina Teuschler, owners of T&T Karate. Before we wrap up the show, I would like to find out if you have any last final thoughts, any last messages that you would like to share with everybody. Of course, all of their contact information is going to be shared in the comments, so you'll be able to contact them, their handles, and all that stuff there. But do you have any final thoughts, any mantras that you would like to share with us today?
Sure. Be kind, because right now, especially on some social media, people are not being kind to one another. And I think it's really sad because we need to be coming together. And despite any political beliefs, that shouldn't matter. We need to be kind. We need to be helpful. We need to come together as a community, because that is the only way that we're going to get through this very strange situation that we're in. So just be kind. I
think that's great.
I think to the parents, I would like to say to be patient with yourselves. The teachers that are trained in psychology, they know how to handle your kids. You may not. So just love yourself. Don't beat yourself up. I've talked to a lot of moms and dads that are really giving themselves a lot of negative self-talk, and they were thrown into this, and it's not their fault. So if they're kind of figuring it out and it's not been easy, that's okay. You're doing the best that you can. And so I think that they need to have a little more self-love, but being kind to themselves, I think that would be my message.
I really love that both of you said all that, being kind, being patient with yourself, and self-love. It's kind of always been the trend of my show here, of sharing that with people. I've had several guests on that speak about self-love and positive affirmations and speaking to yourself nicely, because the way I was taught it was pretty much like, would you want to be friends with the person that speaks to you? That self-talk, right? Would you be friends with that person, right? So it's really important to think that way, of that positive self-talk. And you do have a background in homeschooling, so you do know what it's like, one, to be homeschooled, Serina, and two, to be the homeschooled teacher. So you know what it's like. You're right. They are trained. They are trained. So thank you for sharing those positive messages with all of our viewers today. I want to thank you both so much for coming on the show today. What a beautiful present you gave to me. When I called you, I could feel that you felt that you were, receiving a gift. But I truly received the gift today of just obviously you coming on the show and having a great positive energy. But then, the generous gift that you're giving to Forgotten Children of Haiti and where that's going is just tremendous. And just so you know, and for any of our viewers out there who don't know what Forgotten Children of Haiti does, we support the St. Luke Foundation in Haiti, which has a hospital and an orphanage in Kanscoff, Haiti, and takes care of hundreds of children and adults. They have a maternity clinic. They have so much, and I'll share that link as well so you can see. And that money goes 100% of all of our donation, which we're at 3,200 plus what you're giving, or 100% of that donation goes to those people. It all goes right through our hands to them. So it really goes to a great cause to help them. And as I said, this initiative is to buy N95 masks for these frontline workers there, because they can only buy locally made masks. So they have to be able to purchase them. And the way that it all is, this is the best that we can do for them. So thank you so much for that generous donation. This has been the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. My guests today have been Serina and Veronica Teuschler, owners of T&T Karate in Hyde Park, New York. Visit them online, find out about their Zoom class. They're HV Gold Rewards members, so you can definitely find out about their classes and get a great discount. Before I wrap up the show, I just want to give everybody a quick update on Forgotten Children of Haiti's fundraiser Mass for the Frontline in Haiti. We've raised, thanks to our generous donors, not counting what they're giving yet, but $3,200. So what is that, 43, whatever, towards our goal of $5,000, which we're trying to accomplish by the end of this month. So please visit our GoFundMe campaign and make a donation today of just $8 to buy one mask for one frontline worker. Links in my bio and in the description of all of my videos. I want to also thank AMH Home Services, who's donating $750 towards our fundraiser for any person who chooses their mold and remediation services and mentions the show. And then, of course, T&T Karate are active members of HV Gold Rewards, and they offer a 50% discount off of your first month of training with them if you're a card-holding member. So visit HV Gold Rewards today to buy your $10 card, enter promo code FCH, and HV Gold Rewards will donate $8 to FCH's fundraiser. I have just surrounded myself with just amazing, amazing people who are so giving and willing to give. And I want to just also give you a shout out to the two of you that you have in the comments here. People are saying thank you. My father actually just said thank you for your generosity to FCH and the people in Haiti. I believe a couple other people have also mentioned that in the comments there of thanking you so much. AMH put out there as well. Thank you so much, and that you're just wonderful, amazing, giving people. This show will replay at 6 o'clock on my Facebook business page, Michael Esposito Inc. You can find it. The links will be all there. So it'll replay at 6 o'clock. Tune in on Monday, where my guests and I will discuss solar power and how a sunny day can be a money day for you. That's Monday at 10 o'clock on the Shining Light Video Podcast Show. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for being a part of the show, everyone. Have a great weekend. Stay happy and stay healthy. And Veronica and Serina, I am giving you the biggest air hugs right now. And when this quarantine is over, I am busting down your doors and hugging you to the ground. Thank you so, so much for your generous donation and your time today. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everybody.